Good morning, everyone, and 恭喜发财. Today is the 5th day of Chinese New Year. We thank you for all of your support that you are joining us today this morning. Thank you very much. And for those of you who are, I hope that your Chinese New Year has been very fun and exciting. If you are out and about, please make sure that you take good care of your personal hygiene as the cases of COVID-19 is still at increasing. Yeah, so please make sure you adhere to the proper SOP, and also to remember to wear your face mask properly, as well as to sanitize your hand regularly. All right. So today, as we are entering into the 5th day of Chinese New Year, we are going to do a craft that is not so much related to Chinese New Year, but it is still associated with Chinese New Year. Okay, yesterday was the 4th day of Chinese New Year, and it is called the Lap Chun, yeah, Li Chun, which means that it is actually the beginning of spring. Yeah, so, and that is the reason why we choose cherry blossom tree craft today, because cherry blossom is actually associated with the beginning of spring as well. Yeah, it is also a new beginning in a sense. So that is the reason why for Chinese, or for a lot of Asian in particular, like Japanese as well as Koreans, they are also have a lot of cherry blossom trees in their countries, yeah, because it's actually an auspicious, or I would say a flower that actually being appreciated as a new life. So that is the reason why we are also choosing this, as you know, it's Chinese New Year, so that is why we are also doing this. All right, so for those of you who are first time here, my name is Joey. I am a craft instructor at Craft Space. Our center is actually located at Tropicana Gardens Mall, a very small and humble place where we actually allow kids to actually explore their creativity on their own accord. Okay, because we believe that all the creativity should not be structured. Yeah, so that is why we always encourage kids to be creative. All right, so if let's say you have time or you would like to find out more, please drop by at Tropicana Gardens Mall. We will explain to you further how we actually are different from the other industry players. Right, now today we also have a workshop at Tropicana Gardens Mall concourse area. We are doing Chinese traditional knot, yeah, or what we call as 中国结. If let's say you are interested to learn, you can come over at 4 o'clock at the concourse area of Tropicana Gardens Mall. Yeah, we will be there until 6 p.m. today. All right, so what are we doing today? We are doing 3D Sakura Tree, or what we call as cherry blossom tree. So for those of you who have already pre-registered with us, I believe that you have already received the material list, yeah. But for those of you who have just joined us, no worries, we are going to go through all the material list together again. All right, so first off, we will need paper roll. Now, some paper roll are already come in brown color, yeah. So if let's say it is brown, then you don't have to paint it unless you want it different color. All right, for us, these are our leftovers from previous events, yeah, so it comes in handy, so we don't throw away. So we have it in brown, yeah, so brown color or any other colors that you have, or if let's say you want to paint it a different color, it's up to you. But what we need is you need to paint the paper roll, or you can wrap it with colored paper of your choice. Right, so paper roll, we may need 1 to 2, at least 1, but if let's say you have more, it will come in handy as well. Okay, so of course, if let's say you need to paint it, then you will need paint, brush, as well as a palette, yeah, so that you can paint it, right? And if let's say you are painting it, please do not just paint one layer, yeah? Paint it a few more layers and let it dry so that it looks nicer, right? And then after that, we will need some cardboard, yeah? Thin one, thick one, it will come in handy as well, because if let's say you need to do a base for your cherry blossom tree, of course you will need the thick type of cardboard or the corrugated cardboard. For the branches, we will need thin cardboard, right? And then we will need some ang pao packets. I believe that, you know, it's already the 5th day of Chinese New Year. Most of you have already opened up your ang pao, right? So please do not throw away all those ang pao packets that come together with the money inside, yeah? So keep all those ang pao packets, and now it will come in handy because you can actually use the ang pao packet to make the flowers, right? Alternatively, you can use colored papers, yeah? If let's say you do not have extra ang pao packets, yeah? So you can use colored papers or non-woven bags. If let's say those non-woven bags, if let's say it's already broken, there is one more thing that you can actually use. It's those tissue paper, or what we call as crepe paper. Most of the time they will use those to pack hamper. So if let's say you have received a lot of hampers throughout the Chinese New Year, and if you notice inside the hamper itself, it will always come together with the crepe paper or the tissue paper. You can use it as well. Because why? Those that come together with Chinese New Year hamper usually is red color. So you can use that, yeah? So you can use that as to make your cherry blossom flowers. All right? So those are the options that you have to make the flowers. And then of course we will need our cutter as well as our scissors. Now cutter is actually very sharp, so please make sure you use it with adult supervision, yeah? Next off, we will need hot glue gun or Yoo-hoo glue, right? So these are the items that we will need. Of course, if let's say you want to decorate or hang little ornaments onto your tree later on, you can add on, right? You can add on with other those tiny Chinese New Year ornaments. You can hang it onto the tree, all right? Now, we can start if you are ready, all right? Now, first off, like I mentioned, if let's say you have a paper roll, make sure you paint it with your favorite color, okay? So this paper roll is the tree trunk, yeah? The tree trunk. So that is why it is, we will need one as a solid one, okay? Now, if let's say you have a kitchen towel roll, those are longer, so that one you don't have to cut half. Why? Because you can actually cut strips from halfway, so that you can actually use the strip as your branches as well. But for those who have the small roll like mine, we will need to add, yeah, we will need to add the branches using another roll. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So this is the first step, yeah. So what we do is we will cut the second paper roll, or if let's say you only have one paper roll, what you can do is you can use those tissue box or face mask box, or those cereal box, the thin type of cardboard, and then you can cut strips. Now the strips, it can be as thin as 0.5 cm, yeah. There is no gauge, but do not make it too thick or too fat, right? So we will cut it like probably about 0.5 cm. We can have different length, yeah. So this is one of it. Okay, so we can have different length so that you can have, your tree will have some long branch and some short branches, okay? So what we do is we will cut a few and then we will stick it on, all right? So let's on our hot glue first so that it will be hot when we need it, right? So we will cut a few of this, yeah. And then after that, you can trim it off to the length that you want. Okay. Okay. All right. My one, I have so far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so I have 12 strips. Some of it I want it long, some of it I want it short. So some I will cut half. Okay, so you can just measure it and then you cut half roughly. You don't have to be very exact, yeah, because when it comes to tree branches, there is no exact length, yeah. So any size will do. Okay, so some are long, some are short. Okay. All right, so now we are ready. So when we stick, now remember, if let's say you have painted it, so one side will be the original color and one side is the painted color, yeah. So when you stick it on, make sure you stick the painted color with painted color. So you stick it from inside, yeah, stick it from inside, and then we will bend it outwards later on, okay? So we stick it from the inside. So the glue is supposed to be inside, yeah, inside here. All right. So let's stick it on. Let's see the glue. Is it ready? Yeah. So put some glue, and then you can stick it on. Okay. Then make sure when you stick it on, you don't have all the same length branch next to each other, yeah. You can alternate it. Okay. So you can alternate it so that some are long, some are short. Right. And then after that, I will put the long one now. Okay. So just continue around it. Yeah. Just continue around it. You may want to overlap it some, yeah, because if you want it to some also stand up, yeah. So when you stand up, then you have to make sure that you overlap it, okay. So in terms of the branches, it is really up to you how you want to arrange it. But when you do, please make sure that you stick from the inside, yeah, so that it looks nicer. Okay, so a few more to go. Yeah, so that's the last one. Okay, so now it is something like this. Okay, so next thing is you need to make sure that some you need it lower, some you need it high. Okay, so when those that you need it lower, so you just have to make sure that you put glue and stick it, yeah, so that it will go lower. So we will just put a little bit of glue and let it stick it down. Hold it on so that it will not come back up. Okay. Yeah, like this. Yeah. So if you see, some are like this. Okay. And then after that, just see how many you want it to be lower. So just stick it up, downwards. Okay. Okay. some higher. Okay, right. So basically now the tree is done. Okay, so next step is, if let's say you want a base. Okay, so this base is easy. What you can do is you can cut a cardboard. It's either the thick type, yeah, the corrugated cardboard. So you can actually wrap it with any color you want, but it will be for the ground, as the ground, yeah. So of course, if let's say you want it to be something that is more functional, like for example, you want to make the other side of it as the pencil holder. So again, you will need another paper roll, your tree, and then your base. Let's say for example, let me have the mat. Let's say for example, this is your base, right? So you can have your tree here, one side, one corner, and then you can have your another paper roll, the other side, and then here you can actually put pencil. So this one, it will be your pencil holder, all right? So that is the reason why we need the base. This base is also important so that it helps to hold up your tree so that it doesn't topple. Because once we put all the flowers on top of the tree branches, then this tree will not be as stable because the top is heavier than the bottom. Yeah, so that is why it is important so that we make sure that the tree is always standing up. That is why we need the base. Now the base wise, if let's say you want it just for the tree itself, you don't need to be big, yeah. Slightly bigger than this is good, yeah. Slightly bigger than the bottom of this circle is good. Otherwise, then you can make depending on the size that you want, right? So once you have done with that, of course the base need not be square size. If let's say you want it to be rectangle, round, heart shape, diamond shape, it's entirely up to you, right? But of course, remember, if let's say you want it to make it more functional as a pencil holder, please make sure you cut rectangle or a bigger circle or a bigger heart shape so that you have space to put your tree as well as another paper roll as the place for you to put all your pencils. Yeah? Okay? So next, we will need the ang pao packet as well as the color paper, for example, or non-woven bag or those crepe paper, right? So any color will do, it's up to you, yeah? Because cherry blossom, we have different colors, yeah? So you can have purple, you can have red, you can have pink. Of course, the more popular one is pink color, but that is not the only color for cherry blossom, yeah? So we have also yellow, we have slightly green, yeah, greenish white. We have white, off-white. So it really depends on you. You can have different colors on one tree as well. After all, this is your cherry blossom tree, yeah. So you can make it very colorful. I remember last year when I taught a student to make a cherry blossom tree. She actually made rainbow color, yeah. So it can also, you can also do the same, yeah. Main thing is, because you know flowers, right, they have different sizes as well. So when you cut, you also need to have different sizes. Now, what we do is, we have already pre-cut all these ang pao packets, yeah. It always will be in a square size, so that it's easier for us to fold and cut later. So what we need to do is, if let's say you want it to be 5 cm in your length, your height also must be 5 cm to make it a square, yeah. So always remember, if it is horizontally is 5 cm, vertically also 5 cm. So we have three sizes here. We have the 3 cm by 3 cm, and then we have the 4 cm by 4 cm, and then our bigger size is 5 cm by 5 cm. Now it also depends on you whether you want it to be like this or you want it to be the different sizes, because there is no right and wrong when it comes to flower size, yeah. as long as it is not too big until you can only put one flower. Okay, so you can put like 6 cm by 6 cm, but nothing more than 8 cm, yeah, because if it is 8 cm, it will be too big. All right, but of course, that is only the paper size, because at the end of the day, we will still need to cut it out later on. So when cutting itself, you can, if you feel that small size paper is very difficult to fold, what you can do is you can take a bigger size paper, but when you cut later on, you can cut it small. Yeah, then it will come out small. All right, now this is applicable for those people who use paper, non-woven bag, ang pao packet. If let's say you are using tissue paper, you don't have to cut this, because if let's say tissue paper, it's very easy. You cut either circle or you cut small squares, but you don't have to fold. All you need to do is you just have to crumble it together, and then you can start to stick it on. It's very easy, because the tissue paper or the crepe paper is actually very, very soft. So you can just crumble it, and then you can just stick it on onto your branches already. Okay, only for those who have thicker material like paper and non-woven bag, that is where we will need to fold and cut the shape out. Otherwise, then if let's say you crumble this, it won't look nice. Yeah, so that is why we need to cut. So you can cut a few. Yeah, you can cut a few of different sizes, so that you can actually stick it on. Now when we stick it on, we can stick on top of the branch or at the bottom as well, to make it look full. Okay, you can also put different materials if you want, right? So if let's say you say, oh, I have already prepared colored paper, ang pao packet, non-woven bag, or tissue paper, you can use all of them at the same time. Yeah, if let's say you have green color, you can stick a little bit of green color as the leaf, or you can cut tiny leaves and stick it on. So that one we will do it later, but main thing is we will put the flower on first. All right. So what we do is, once you have cut the flower, now we need to fold. Now when we fold, okay, what we do is, I will fold one using the white color background, so that it's easier for you to see, and it's easier for me to cut later on. Yeah. So what we do is, we have a square. Now don't worry if let's say you have not finished cutting all your square pieces. Yeah. What you need to do is, you need to understand how to fold it and how to draw the shape of the flower. Then after that, you can continue on with the rest after the video or after the live. All right, so what you need to do is, you need to turn it like this, so that it is triangle shape. Sorry, it's a diamond shape. Okay, so this is your square, so turn it this way, so that the pointy part is facing upwards, downwards, left and right, right? And then after that, you fold half. When you fold half, you will see a triangle. Okay, you will see a triangle, right? And then after that, this part, you fold it down. Okay, so when you fold it down, make sure it is all the way down. Okay, parallel with this line. Yeah, so fold it down, make sure it is a straight line. Okay, like this, right? And then after that, you open it up. Okay, so now we will be working on the left and the right. So what we do is, once you have folded this, you open it back up, so that you still have the triangle, and then you have this fold line, right? This crease line here. So this is where we will have to make sure that when we fold the left and the right side, we need to see this line. So what we do is, we take the left side corner, and then we fold it towards this line first. Okay, we fold it toward this line. Okay, like this. Okay, So again, when you fold this, you have these two corners, right? So when you open up, this is the crease line. So this left corner of your triangle, you fold it so that it touches this side. All right? And then after that, you fold this accordingly to the other way. So what you do, you take this side and then you fold it parallel to this line now. Okay? So here, this side is done. So you turn the other side. Now we are working on this corner. So this corner, what you do is, you fold it parallel, yeah. Fold it parallel, and then this one also, you fold it like this. Okay, so I just show you one more time, yeah. I'll take the new paper. Okay, so first thing first, you fold half so that you have a triangle, right? And then this one, you fold it downwards to touch the base, yeah. So to touch the base here, okay. And then open it back up, because what we need is this line and this line. So from here, if you need, you can use a pencil to draw this line, yeah. This is the line that we need, the fold line, okay. And then you take your, now we are working on this side and this side. So what we do is, we take this side and then we fold it like this, okay. So we touch this corner, we will touch this fold line, okay. So we will touch it like this. And then after that, we will fold this side, yeah. Once we have touched this corner, what we do is, this particular side, we will fold it to your left side again, so that it is parallel with this side. Now, while you work, make sure that this point at the bottom is still there, yeah? It's still there. Okay? So next step, what we do is, we will turn this to the other way, and then after that, we will fold this side instead. Okay? So when we fold this side, again, it is the same, yeah? So what we do is, we fold like this, making sure that this side, this one, the corner, the bottom is still all parallel, yeah. And then after that, this one we fold it the other way now. Then you will have this shape. Okay. All right. So then after that, it will be like this. So this is one of the ways for you to cut. Can I have a pencil? So this is one of the ways for you to fold your origami sakura. Then next thing is, you need to draw the shape of your sakura flower, yeah. So it will be, it's an M, okay. So can you see? I don't think you can see. Maybe we need a marker pen, a thinner type of marker, so that it's easier for me to show it. Okay, so let me find a marker, and then after that I will draw it. Okay. Yeah. So it will be like this. It's an M, but the side you make it round, okay, slightly round. So this is the shape that you need to cut it out. So once you cut it out, then you will have slightly the shape of your sakura flower, yeah. So let's cut this. Okay, make sure your side is round so that it looks, your petal will look round, okay. Trim it so that it's round. Okay, and then after that, when you open it up, so you have your sakura flower. Okay, so then after that, what you do is you just fold it downwards. Yeah, fold it downwards so that your flower will stay downwards. Okay. Your petal will stay downwards. Yeah. And then after that, what you do is you can hold it up a little bit, and then you can start to stick it onto your branch. Okay. So this is one done. Let's put it. So the big flower, you can have it onto the side if you want, and then we can put some small one in the middle. Yeah. So the big one will be at the side. Or you can have the big one in the middle or at the end. Yeah. But don't put all the big ones together. Try to spread it out so that it looks nicer. Okay. So this is one sample. Yeah. So if let's say you need help with doing the same one, let me know. I am going to try to also teach those of you who have the crepe paper one, yeah, to do. Maybe Annie can help to take some crepe paper, tissue paper from the storeroom. Then I can also show you. Now, for those who have non-woven bag, you still will be doing the same concept as the ampa packet, right? So don't you worry about it. Now, if let's say you have green color paper, what you need to do, I don't have green color paper here, but I will use this as a sample. You can cut different sizes of leaf, yeah. So what we do is we cut different sizes of leaf. And then after that, once you are done, you can actually stick it on to, straight away you can stick it on to the your tree trunk as well. Okay, so some leaf. So let's say, for example, this is my leaf. Yeah, then after that, I will just put. Now, when you stick the leaf, make sure that you don't stick all the way. You don't put glue all the way, yeah, because you need your leaf to be hanging, yeah, out from the tree branch, yeah. So only half or part of is stuck onto the tree, the branch. Okay, so some of it will do. Then after that, you can fill it up the rest with your flower. Now this flower, if we have all this tissue paper, what you need to do is you can cut small pieces, yeah, either square or either round shape, is up to you. But what you do is you just crumble it up, yeah, you just crumble it up, something like this, and then after that you can straight away put glue anywhere that you want to stick it on, yeah, and then after that you just stick it on, hold it up, and then you will have all your sakura flower. Yeah, so that is why if let's say you have all this tissue paper, then it's much easier. You don't have to really cut the shape of the flower. Okay, so alternatively, if let's say you can't do the origami fold, what you need to do is you take a piece of paper and then you start to draw all your sakura petal. So you know sakura petal has 5 petals, right? So when you come to 5 petals, you need to draw 5 petals first, okay? Yeah. So 5 petals, each petal, like what our moderator say, yeah, is an M shape, yeah, long side, and then the middle part is short, yeah. So what we do is we can just draw 5 petals first, yeah. Make it pointy. So roughly, I will draw the petal first, so that after that I can show you. Okay. So don't worry about it's not a line or whatsoever, because at the end of the day, it's flowers, yeah. Flower don't have specific shape or specific symmetry of it, yeah. So let's draw 5 petals, and then after that, we will draw the M. Okay. Okay. All right. So now I am going to use the marker so that I can show you easier. Okay. Right. So basically it is like this. All right. Then after that, what you need to do is you cut it out. So this is an easier way if let's say you do not want to do the folding one. Of course, if let's say you do the folding one, you can learn a little bit about origami. Otherwise, you can use this one and then you can do a few at the same time as well. Yeah. Just make sure that you hold it nicely when you do, so that when you cut, then it's the same shape. You won't go, some of the petals won't go missing, yeah. Because sometimes if let's say we don't hold it nicely when we cut, then the paper at the bottom is going to go somewhere else. So that is why we have to make sure that we hold it nicely. So we just cut. And make sure when you do this, you take the same size of paper, yeah, so that it's easier. If let's say you want to do different sizes of the flower, please don't use this. But what you can do is you can use you can group them together, yeah, different size. Say for example, this one is 5 cm by 5 cm, so make sure when you cut, all are 5 cm by 5 cm. And then after that, if you want to do other sizes, and make sure you group them all together. Right? So let's cut this. Okay, 2 more petals to go. Right? A bit more. Okay. Okay, so we are done. So now, when we open up, then we have 3, because I do 3 at the same time. Okay. So what you do is you fold your petals upwards. So those colored side is always on the outside, right? So you can have some of your petals facing upward or some facing downwards. So this one, I will make it face upwards, yeah. So I will just use my scissors, hold on to the middle part of your flower and then start to scrape it upwards, yeah. Okay, like this. Okay, and then you will see that your petals will be facing upwards, like this. Not sure whether you can see it. Then after that, you can start to stick it on. So we put some glue, and then we can start to stick it on. Okay. And then we do the second one. Okay. Right. Okay, and then after that, you put more glue and stick it on. Now, if let's say you have plain color paper, then you can actually draw the middle part to make it, you know, sakura flower, right? The middle part itself, it has yellow color. I'm not sure what to call it. Yeah, so you can actually draw on it as well. Otherwise, then you can cut it tiny, tiny strips and then stick it on, right? So we have already a few flowers. Then now we will do different sizes, yeah? So we do a small one instead now. So I am going to fold it. Then after that, I will cut it together. Let's see how many I can cut it at the same time. Okay, so this is what you are going to do. Basically, what you need is you just have to continue to do the flowers, yeah, until the whole tree is filled up. You can also do the bottom, like I said, yeah. So put some flowers at the bottom, fill it up, and then after that, once you are done, you can stick it onto the base, yeah, stick it onto the base. If let's say you want it to be small, you don't want a big base, then one tiny square or one round shape that is slightly bigger, like say for example, I think this size is good enough, yeah. Okay, so let's just hold it this side. Okay, so this size is good enough because you can actually make it in the middle. Okay, so let's cut this out and then I can show you. So make sure you use the thick cardboard, yeah, those corrugated cardboard, because that one, it will be sturdier, all right? This one is, if let's say it's thin, then it may not be able to help you or your tree to stand, okay? So this is my stand, for example, and then you just have to stick it on. Put glue around it and stick it on. Once you stick it on, you can decorate the sides as well. Okay, what you need to do is you can put grass. Okay, now this one, if you want, you can actually wrap it first, yeah, with colored paper. So if let's say this one you want it to be on green ground, for example, then you wrap it green. Or you want to make sure that, you know, to have the feeling of like those flowers are falling off your tree onto the ground, then you wrap it with the color of your flower. Okay, for example, if let's say you have a lot of pink color flower on your tree, then you can put pink color paper, wrap it first, yeah. Once you wrap it, then after that only you stick it on. Once you stick it on, after you are done, for example, here you can put a little bit of flowers as well, so small flowers, yeah, to to show that some of the flowers actually fall from the tree, right? So this is one of it. Okay, so in terms of the flowers, I will not go through the whole flower because it will take a long time, but roughly it will be the same method. You just have to repeat for the rest of the petals, and then you have to fill up your branch, all the branches, you have to fill it up. Then you would be able to have a very, what do you call that, a tree that has a lot of flowers, yeah? Okay, so you just have to fill it up. Now, for those of you who have the crepe paper, for example, again, it's the same thing. What you do is you just cut tiny pieces and then you just stick it on to all top and bottom of your tree branch, everywhere. And then after that, if you have green color paper, okay, then you just cut out your leaf, different shapes, but not too big, yeah, small leaves, and then you can start to stick it on, yeah, onto your branch as well. Then you'll be able to have a tree that has some green leaves as well as different color flowers. All right, so this is the cherry blossom tree. Now, for those of you who wants to do a pencil holder next to it, what you need to do, make sure you cut a size from your cardboard so that you can fit both your tree. It need not be the whole tree in the middle, yeah. You can put it at a side. Put it at a side, and then the other one at the other corner. Make sure that the other what do you call that? The paper roll does not touch your the tree. Otherwise, then when it is difficult for you to take your pencil from it, yeah. So again, the base has to be corrugated cardboard, and then you wrap it first with the color that you want, or if let's say you do not want to wrap it, you can actually paint it, yeah, with the color that you want. Then after that, you put glue at the bottom of your paper roll, and then you can stick it on. Now, same thing, if let's say you want it to be a pencil holder, the next paper roll, you can actually decorate it as well. So how do you decorate it? If let's say you have this, of course we can't have the branches, right? So your flower can be on your paper roll. Now, I'm not sure how many of you have those paper puncher where you can actually buy from Daiso. If let's say you go to Daiso, please, if let's say you also found a paper puncher that has the shape of sakura, because they actually have a few shapes, yeah, and they are very popular with sakura flower. So there is this puncher that has the specific shape of a sakura flower, so you can actually buy that as well. But the punch out size is very small, yeah, very small. So that one probably about 1 cm in diameter only, 1 to 1.5 cm. So you can use that one, yeah, and then you can start to fill up your tree as well. And then here, what you do is either you can draw your sakura flower, yeah, or you can actually stick it on, cut out or punch out the sakura flower and stick it on. Now, best of course if you can draw on it, yeah. So for example, this one, what you can do is you can draw, say, your branch, yeah. Okay, so you can draw your branch, right? Of course, thicker branch will look nicer. Okay, and then after that, you can use the tip of the brush, for example. Okay, the tip of your brush. Say, let's say I use a light shade of color so that it's easier to see. Let's just pour a little bit out. Then I can show you how you can actually make it, right? Okay. Okay. So what I do is I try to use different sizes of brush because the tip will also look different. Yeah. So, say for example, now this one is fatter, whereas the one on my right hand side, the brush is actually thinner. So the tip also it's a different size. So what I do is I take this and then I use the tip and then I put a little bit of paint on it and then I will start to make 5 petals. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I will make 5 petals. So you can go on. You can also do different colors so that it looks nicer. So certain place you can actually use bigger ones. Yeah. So you can just do this. Okay. So you just have to continue on and then fill up the rest. Okay. So now your pencil holder as well as your tree will have different designs of sakura. Yeah. Then it won't look so bland. Okay. Of course, if let's say you want it a little bit of greens, yeah, on your paper, your pencil holder, what you can do is you can paint it with light green. All right. Draw shapes of your trees, tiny trees, yeah. Like for example, let me just, okay, let's take the thin one. And then I can start to draw very tiny, very tiny leaves. Then after that, you can just put paint on it. All right. Then basically you are done. So what you can do is after this, you can continue on with the flower. First, you do your 3D cherry blossom tree first. Yeah. So if let's say you want it to add on to a pencil holder concept, then you can also find another holder like this. Yeah, another paper roll like this, and then you can start to draw on it. Yeah, when you draw on it, you can draw the tree trunk first. Yeah, the branch as well as the trunk. Okay, and then after that, you can use paint to make it more colorful so that it is not so dull. Okay, again, you can use different color. And also, once you are done, what you can do is you can do both sides if you want, or you can do one side, very long one, and then it wrap all over. Okay, or you can have one side, you can write your name or your wishes, and then the other side is all your flowers, right? So the concept is like this. Of course, at the end of the day, we would like to see how your final artwork is going to turn out to be. All right. So please make sure when you are done with this, send us a photo of how you actually do your sakura tree, and whether it is just a sakura tree on its own, or it is actually together with a pencil holder or something else. All right. So we are looking forward to see your final artwork. Okay, so basically that is the basis of making the 3D Sakura tree using recyclables. Yeah, everything recycled. Ang pao packet is from those ang paos that you have been collecting, yeah, since the day 1 of Chinese New Year. Now that you have already taken out all the money, and then ang pao packet, make sure you don't throw. You can use it to recycle, yeah, instead of throwing it away. All right. So remember the 5R, we will say that it's refuse, reduce, reuse, repurpose, which is what we have been doing before we send it for recycling. All right. So ang pao packet, I am pretty sure a lot of you, in fact, last time we used to do the same, yeah. Once we have already collected all the ang paos, we take out all the money, put in the bank. Then what do we do with the ang pao packets? We usually would throw away. So now, before we throw it away, we can repurpose them, yeah. And then it can be there for another few months or probably a year, yeah, before we change it to the new one next year, yeah, during Chinese New Year. All right. So this is one. And then if let's say you're talking about those non-woven bags, yeah. So nowadays, because we are using a lot of non-woven bags in as a replacement for plastic bags, right? So sometimes it wear off, and then we will have to throw it away. Now, before we throw it away, again, if you can recycle them or repurpose them, please do so. All right. So this is one way that we repurpose them. Now, for those of you who have, say for example, have been receiving hampers, yeah. Once you have already open up your hamper, yeah, please don't throw away the wrapper, because the wrapper usually is those plastic, right? So you can also use those plastic for something else before you throw it away. And inside you will have the baskets, for example. Sometimes, most of the time, it is the baskets, and then you have some crepe paper or tissue paper, yeah, because they use those for decorations. You can repurpose them. Okay, so please make sure this is a way that we actually encourage and educate our kids, yeah, for parents out there, to always think of a way to repurpose all the recyclables before we send them for recycling, because at the end of the day, recycling can only do this much. It is really up to us how we actually reduce the waste, yeah. So of course, the first step is, if we can avoid it, we avoid it altogether. It's only when we can't avoid it, then we have no choice. Then we have to find creative solutions before we actually send them for recycling. All right. I hope you have enjoyed the session today. Please do not hesitate to send in your final artwork once you have done with your 3D Sakura tree, and then send it to us. We would love to see them, yeah. And thank you for joining us today, despite it is only the 5th day of Chinese New Year. All right. Also, I wish you to continue to enjoy throughout the Chinese New Year. And for those of you who are going back to school on Monday, happy schooling, yeah, because I am pretty sure you can't wait to go back. But please make sure you take good care of yourself and adhere to all the SOPs, yeah, because throughout the Chinese New Year, we also realize that a lot of people are going out, and sometimes we tend to forget, you know, we are standing so close to each other. So please make sure you always remember to keep a distance, yeah? Keep a safe distance for yourself as well as other people. And then make sure that you always sanitize your hands, regardless whether you have touched anything, all right? So with that, I will end the session. I will see you next week. Once again, I wish you Happy Chinese New Year. Until we meet again next week. Bye.